Hey guys, it's Paul John Elliott from Stretching Canada. Not necessarily from Stretching Canada anymore. I'm right here in my home slash studio. um, so anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we're going to do the arms. I've been drawing a lot and painting a lot, and I've been sitting on my couch a lot. Um, holding this and getting into these horrible postures that I advise all my clients not to get into. But I'm there. I'm in that flow of inspiration, and I'm just um, looking for ways to change how I see things and draw. And when I'm in that moment, I just get lost, and my posture becomes very not only backseat, it just falls right out. So hours later, I need to stand up and go into some of the stretching that I would normally do on anybody else. But for now. My issue right now, and the reason I wanted to get into this was not just because I draw a lot, but because a lot of us are on our phones. And I had originally thought that my little issue in this area, the thumb and forefinger, was because I was drawing and painting a lot. But when I'm drawing, I hold, I'm standing a lot at the table where my computer is right now, or I'm at the easel, and I tend to draw, with my pencil far away from my hand. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll be like really far away, marking just gently, so I have very little control. That's sort of an art thing and not a stretch thing. So I figured, wait a minute, it can't be, because I'm drawing and painting so much. And then I noticed that I'm doing a lot of communication by this. I rarely do this. I have hands-free, of course, like most people in the world. So when I'm talking, I talk hands-free, but I'm texting a lot, and I'm responding by my emails and my texts a lot on my phone and on my iPad. And as I'm pretending to do it right now, I can really feel the restrictions and the discomfort. So that's where the idea of wanting to stretch the arms and the wrists and the fingers and the thumbs to really open those up. So this is the sort of thing, when I am in the clinic, I tend to get to the clinic about an hour early so I can do a workout before I start to work, because I'm too tired to be honest, I'm lazy at the end of the day. It's easier to do the workout before, but I also have a chance to sort of stretch and optimize and prepare myself for the day, physically, emotionally, spiritually, for my clients or whoever walks in the door. So let me start with working down through the biceps and into the rotators and the wrists. So here we go. With the bicep, we can be a little bit more specific with short head and then long head just by rotating the arm. So if I use my fingers as a pointer and I have my palm facing forward, I'll leave this indicator finger where it is, so it doesn't move very much. So I'm actually touching the short head of the bicep as it travels up to the where the pec minors are joined. So which is basically here. Cord process. Anyway, so pointers are short head of the bicep, and if I reach back, I'm working more short head of the bicep. What tends to happen when we go for amplitude is the arm tends to wander away from that sagittal plane that I would like to stay in. So I'm going to actually force myself to come up on that sagittal plane, trying not to wander away from center. So I'm still working with my the short head of the bicep. Now, if I leave my pointer there, as this goes up into the body underneath the clavicle, and I rotate my arm, now I'm looking at the long head of the bicep, as it comes up into the groove of the humerus, as it travels into the labrum of the shoulder, of the scapula. So I've gone from this position to this position. And you can do any of those increments that you want that feel right. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to go 1, 2, long head, and then so what you're not seeing is that I'm sitting in a chair that I sort of sit and stand in at the same time, and my feet are really planted in the ground, so I'm kind of standing and sitting at the same time. Sitting in a chair is perfectly fine. Standing is perfectly fine. And I'm bracing here, so I'm not kind of falling forward as looking for amplitude. So I'm bracing, 1, 2, I'm wandering out there. Ooh, 1, 2. Yeah, so short head, long head, and you can rotate even further, thumb going back, where you're getting some of the long head of the bicep, but also some of the anterior deltoid. For sure, that's going to work. Oh, nice. 1, 2. That feels really good. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so, and then I would do all the same things on the other side. 2, and then 3. And then from that, I'm going to work the exact opposite side. So now I've been stretching these by using my triceps. I'm just going to go into the triceps. So what I'm trying to do is, again, I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades down, and I'm walking down my back, sort of down the medial aspect of my scapula with my fingers, and then 1, 2, and assist, 1, 2, and assist, 1, 2. Or I have a strap, and I'll just put the strap in my hand, and I'll kind of hold it like this, and reach down, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, that sort of thing. Now, there are different angles. Again, you can come straight down so that your arm is close to your head and you're getting this intermedialis, but there's nothing wrong with allowing the arm to come out and maybe consider going straight down the back. You're coming up across at an angle and just assist that. 1, 2. So, and then of course you would do the same thing on the other side. So that's bicep short head, bicep long head and anterior deltoid, and then tricep, and the 2, maybe 3 phases of the tricep, both sides. Now, I had done a kettlebell workout using heavier weights. I went from the 12 kilo or 16 kilo to 24, and I was trying to sort of pop these things up. And it was the coming down part that really, I got discomfort, well, overworked the muscles on the clavicular attachment to the pecs. And what I do for that, and I know that a lot of people have come in and said, I'm sore on my pec or my shoulder, I can't describe it, and I tend to sort of push my finger up into the clavicle, and that's where I feel most of the difficulty, the restrictions in their situation. So if you can come again, keep your scapulae down in your back pockets, and then bring your arm up, so you're not bringing your arm up and shrugging. It's not wrong, you just sort of take away from the stretch. So I'm going to bring my scapulae down, arm up, rotate palm back, and then reach back. And that's my end range, and I'm going to, I can really feel that pulling here. Maybe if I just hold that, so it's like pin and stretch. So stretching this way and pinning it and pulling in the opposite direction, that really helps. So I can do the same thing on both sides, or you can do the same thing on both sides bilaterally. So bicep, tricep, it's a little bit under the clavicles, that's kind of the clavicular attachment. And then now moving down into the elbow, the fingers come across the elbow here, and there's rotators, and we want to try and get at those. And really the idea is to try and rotate the forearm without pulling too much on the wrist. So what I'm doing is I'm just marrying my elbow to my side. Rotate, 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 rotate. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Hi, Kwan Lee. 1, 2. So I'll come a little closer. So what you're not seeing, maybe I'll do like this. Hand is palm up, because I'm going to be supinating, and put my first finger in between my thumb and my finger, and the other finger is like this, and I'm pushing with my thumb. So as I come around, I'm doing this, boop, 1, 2, and I'm feeling this more up here. Okay, and then I'll stay there actually, because I'm going to supinate, pronate, sorry. So from supination, I'm going to go full range here, and I'm just going to bring my hand over the top, and I'm again pushing with my thumb, pulling with my fingers, 1, 2. Now, here's the thing that you're not seeing, and this is a key, you'll probably figure it out on your own, is as soon as I go into this pronation, the elbow tends to pop away from the body. So I'm going to marry that to my side, do my pronation, 1, 2, 1, 2, beep, beep. 1, 2. Oop, one got away from me there. And 1, 2. All right. And then again, of course, both sides. So from there, I've worked down through, across the elbow, pronator, supinator muscles. And now I'm going to get into the extensor and flexor muscles. So here's really the first stretch is going to be, you could be down here. And when I do it, I am down here. But just for the sake of, so you can see where I am in space and what I'm doing, my arm is extended away from my body. And I'm just going to, on my out breath, reach down, reach down, reach down. And that's my natural end range. And then I'm just going to assist that again with that half pound to a pound of pressure. Breathe in, breathe out. And on any given day, I might just use 2 fingers, and that will be enough pressure. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And then I'm going to go straight into extension. 1, 2. And again, my whole hand is coming over my hand, so I'm not just pulling on my fingers, because then most of the stretch will reside in the tendinous regions, for sure, and we'll get there in a second, but we can get into the palmaris muscles and all the intrinsic muscles of the hand. So doing this, it doesn't really help much of the flexor muscles. So if I get right in over here, 1, 2, 1, 2, blah, 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 blee, blee, blee. So I've gotten the flexion, extension. Now, I want to get a more concentrated version of this extensor muscle stretch. I'm really just going to go back to this, curl my fingers up, and drop the wrist down. Welcome to your forearm flexor muscle, your finger flexor muscles. Whoa, you can really tell when you haven't stretched for a couple of days. Oh, these are good sounds, by the way. And then there. So again, I would do the other side. And now I'm going to get into each individual finger. So what I'm doing here, like this, is I'm actually extending my wrist back, and then I'm going to assist with with 2 fingers on my finger. And again, if I'm just pulling on my finger, the stretch is going to kind of reside in this area here, and I really want to reach back here. So I'm going to put 2 fingers here, and then maybe 2 fingers on the palm of my hand, and reach back 1, 2, 1, 2. Do 3 there, maybe 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll get to the thumb in a second. Now, I kind of, especially when I've been drawing a lot, or I know I'm going to be seeing a lot of clients and working with my fingers, and it can get a little bit tiring in there. I'm going to go back into the flexors and extensors in a little bit more detail, or rather just the extensors. If I get each finger individually curled up, what's the best position to do that in? Like so. I'm just going to curl that up and then come around and 1, 2. I'm going to try and keep my elbow straight, and then 1, 2, or I can be here. 1, 2. This is actually easier. So I'm actually holding that together in that curled position, and then 1, 2, and then next finger, curl that under and assist 1, 2, etc., etc., for the rest of the 4 fingers. So now let's go into the thumb, because this is really where my issue is for now. But keep in mind, and I know this for a fact, that I've had issues with my neck for a long, long time. They're better than they ever were, but I find that when this gets exacerbated, there's kind of like an issue. And recently I was at a doctor. I go to a rheumatologist for other reasons, but and she said, do you have anything else that we want to look at today? And I said, yeah, this is sort of acting up. And she just went, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you got carpal tunnel. Okay, that was nice. And she gave me a prescription for a physio, and I just put it in the garbage as I was walking past the elevator doors. It's just, I know it's not carpal tunnel, but I know that carpal tunnel exists there, that retinaculum is there, and I know that it gets tight, and it's not tight just because I use my hands a lot. It's tight because there's other issues up here. So I know that these are issues, and we can address those, and I do address those, and I see other people to help me with those issues, and it makes it better. But because I'm pretty sure it's because I've been doing a lot of texting with phone and iPad. Yeah, the thumb and the muscles of the thumb and the muscles around the muscles of the thumb are getting a little tight and sore, and I'm not really paying attention to them. So now that we've done the wrists and the fingers fairly individually, I'm going to make like a stop sign here, and then go full range as I breathe out, reach back, and I'm going to assist 1, 2, so I get the adductors and. Actually, I don't really need to name all the names of the muscles, do I? It's just like for people that don't really know, it doesn't really matter. This just feels good and it feels right. 1, 2. Now, as I do this, and there are issues that I've with arthritis that I've tried to keep at bay because with diet changes and lifestyle changes, but there's still some things that I can't control, but I can help myself, and this is one of them. And I can really feel that I haven't done this for a number of days. So that's the stop sign one. I'll do the same thing. It's the same version of the same. It's just different fibers. So I'm going from that full range and pulling from underneath, and I'm kind of where before I was kind of coming like this. Now I'm going to come back at an angle, so I'm reaching back. Hi, Carrie. Oh, I missed the last one. I think it's still posted. I'm not really sure how live works, Carrie. If it stays up for a while, but if not, I'm not quite sure how to resolve that. So I might end up doing it again if we have to stay indoors all for the next couple of months. I'm sure I'll go around the entire cycle again. So we've done this. Just make sure you're not allowing the wrist to bend. And here you can keep your elbow bent because your thumb doesn't really come up past your elbow where the fingers do, and you want to keep that elbow straight. So here, 1. And then 2, and you can't really get a wrong angle. You just work with what feels good. And then the third one, I put my thumb inside my fist and then drop that down. 1, 2. So I can do that without the fingers wrapping around. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and I tend to unwind completely, get full range of that muscle, so it actually works right after I stretched it and works right after I stretched it again. So what have we done? We've done short head of the bicep, long head of the bicep with the arm wrapped, internally rotated, and then long head of the bicep and anterior deltoid. We've done the clavicular attachment of the pec, which is really an issue for me right now. That's probably contributing to my thumb, but and then we've done extensor muscles, flexor muscles, extensor of the fingers, specific to each finger, thumb, and thumb. Oh yeah, we did tricep. What am I thinking? Tricep. One thing I didn't, I assisted myself with the tricep. I'll do it in a door frame. So if I'm doing this bicep stretch, I'm reaching back. Well, I can do it on this side too. I'm still doing this active contraction, and I'm just going to use my legs to drop my body down. So I'm reaching up, 1, 2. And if I want to turn my arm in, I should probably do it with this one. I can reach up where I was like palm down before. If I put my palm up, I can grab the door. So I've gone from this, grabbing the frame of the door, to this, grabbing the door itself. I don't know if you can actually see that, but I was doing this and grabbing the frame, and then this, grabbing the door itself. I hope that reads. Anyway, so then tricep, assisted tricep. And, when you do this on both sides and you really get into opening up the shoulder girdle and then into the arms, it's a really lovely feeling. And, all morning I've been up since about 6. And, when all else fails, it's really lovely tea. And I make tea, which is now cold because I made it 6 hours ago. I sit on the couch and I just start to draw, thinking I don't have anywhere to be. I'm just going to do this thing, a live thing later on. And, I know I'm doing these for sure because they help me and they pop into my head this way. And I really hope they help you, and I hope they help you stay safe and mobile during this time of, isolation, and it's a necessary isolation. I get that. And if there's anything you want me to cover or anything that you're addressing, needing to address by, sitting on the couch too long or staying in bed too long or, you know, cleaning, things that I can help you with, just pop me a note here. I can see other people. Oh, hi. Hi, Dory. Long time no see. And Sandra, bonjour. Yeah, pop me a line, and I've been sending emails and stretching protocols to some people in Virginia that asked yesterday, Calgary, all over the place, just saying, I got this little thing, maybe you can help me. And sometimes we go back and forth in an email, so I'm not really sending them the wrong stretch. But if I can help, I will. If I can do anything from here, I will. And I think, like a lot of the therapists that are out there, like, well, a lot of the therapists I'm reading on Facebook, they're just designed like me. We're designed to help, and I want to be there to help, and that's what that's all about. Oh yeah, I was looking on my iPad. Hambledon Rehab had put this really amazing and precise, concise, I guess, post on breathing and elongating the spine. Something that he'd learned from Jordan Shane Terry. It's incredible, and I got off the couch, just like, boy, this is exactly what I need, because I've been, literally like this for hours going, I really should get out of this position. I really should get out of this position. And 4 hours later, I'm like, whoa, God. And then I look at this thing from Hambledon Rehab. I think I've never met him, but I think he's in the UK somewhere. And it was this really beautiful video of how to, elongate the spine. So you're releasing nerve and nerve roots and how to breathe better. It was just, it's exactly what I needed just before I did this video. Anyway, so this is me confined to my home. I might go outside because it's gorgeous, but I'm really confined here. I'm trying to honor the social distancing and just doing what's right for me, and hopefully it'll help you too. Hey, Dazin, comment ça va? Hi guys. Oh, it's lovely to see you here. Hello. And but anyway, I hope this stays up there. I don't know how long live stays up, so that you can use it or appreciate it. But again, if you have any questions, just give me a buzz and we'll add a new stretch. Tomorrow there'll be another stretch at 1 o'clock. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it'll be there. Okay, thanks guys. Peace. Hope you're well. Stay safe.